So hello traders, you're welcome to the channel. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys had a great week. You probably caught some pips and the likes. So yeah, you're welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be going through the other peers in the Forex market for this video. I actually did those on the USD peers on the different videos. So I'll actually put the video, somewhere in the video, at the end of the video, somewhere along the screen, so you can as well just click on that after watching this and probably watch that, or probably go to that first. So either ways, so yeah, I did that video so you guys can also watch that. I don't want the video to be a little bit too long, so that's a different video on its own. So right now I'm going to be going to the other peers, and let's just see what we have for this coming week, and probably a little bit of breakdown on what happened in the previous week. So yeah, let's get to it before we waste too much of the time. So this is GBP AUD. So for GBP, looking at the 4-hour time frame, let's look at where we started this week, so we can see how everything all started and the possibilities of what we could actually be expecting in the coming week. So this was where the market started the previous week. This particular candle, we had this engulfing candle and a little bit of a down movement here. So as at then, yeah, let's go to the 1-hour time. I think it's probably more better on the 1-hour time frame, because that was where I marked this zone. So I was expecting the market to still come back here, but let's not leave out the fact that we had this liquidity here. We had then we had this push to the upside. After that sweep in liquidity, there was this pullback to this zone before we had this change of character. So I actually set my entry here. Was it 15 minutes or the 5 minutes time frame? Let's see. So yeah, this was 15 minutes of that block. I set an entry here and I was able to take the market up to this point, to the previous high. So immediately go to the previous high, I actually closed my trade there. And that was actually how I played this, and I'm on Monday. So yeah, it was a very short trade and it really made a lot of sense. So that was actually what I had in the previous week. And right now, you can see after breaking this high, we came back here to retest, most likely an order block, something. Let's see what we have here. So now, because I could actually say there was a lot of efficiency here, a lot of efficiency in these candles here. So I didn't think there was going to be any pullback specifically, because with all this week we had the other candle drop into those points first before moving up, except for this fair value gap around there. So yeah, this one, yeah, definitely we're expecting the market to come here, at least cross this line. But how far is it going to cross is also we're not sure. But look, I think on Thursday, after that during that news, I think there was this happened. Let's check the 30 minutes time frame. Let's just see how that move actually played out. Yeah, I think it was during the news. So this actually happened, came down into the zone, and we started pushing to the upside. Ever since then, broke through this high, and a little bit of retest to this zone around here, and we kept on pushing more to the upside. So right now we actually tested this high, we created a double top. So now looking at this, I'll probably expect the market to break through this high, even if we're actually going to go lower from here. But this move is actually telling me that the market actually has probably some more move to the upside. And if you look previously on GA, we've been moving bullish for a very, very long time. So right now, can't really see where the market is actually going to, where the market is actually going to say a bye-bye to the uptrend that has been the uptrend for a while now. And look at this now, it's exactly at this week here. So yeah, we should be expecting some movement in the market around there. So let's just watch out. Let's see at the coming of this week. And if you look at the daily time frame now, this was a bullish candle. So I mean, this was a long way to the downside, which means there was bullish momentum here. And the previous day, which was on Friday, this was Thursday. Then on Friday, we had this engulfing candle that actually broke through the high. So I don't know, personally, I'll probably be expecting more move to the upside. So if possible, maybe at the start of the candle, we can have a push to this high here, then before continuing more to the upside. But this actually looks like it still has a long way to go when it comes as in, it still has a long way to go when it comes to the bullish sides of the markets. So yeah, that's exactly what I see basically on GA. There's really nothing much, no setups, no clear setups right now. It's just a watch and see how it plays out then. So yeah, that's just it for that. Now for NZD card, that's something similar to. Let's not spend so much time not to make this video too long. So you guys can as well, be able to watch this and yeah, see one or two things. So for this right now, this is where the market started from. Let's see. Do we have, okay, we didn't have any week there. Just very short week. So this was where the market was. I was actually expecting the market to react to the zone and push to the downside, which it did actually, but consolidated a bit before actually pushing more to the downside. So this was the other zone I had. This was what I drew from the daily time frame. So yeah, from the other block from the daily time frame, hopefully the market was going to react to that. But when it got there, there was no sign of a clear entry. So we had to leave this one out. It's still actually looking like a good potential, but this time around the entry has actually shifted here. And one knows if this also breaks without giving us a clear entry, we'll probably move more to the downside. But looking at this now, we had this break here. Then we went up to break this high and test this block around there. So after this move, I'm actually expecting the market to react positively, like in our favor to the upside. But yeah, let's see what Monday does. Now, at the start of the week, we'll probably see what the market is going to do. But yeah, but overall, I'm actually expecting some bullish momentum when it comes to NZD card. So AUD NZD. AUD NZD. Let's see. Yeah. This also, there was, yeah, a relative week around there. So for this, I've marked this zone also since the beginning then, but the market hasn't gotten there. But right now it has gotten there, almost there actually. So let's see what Monday does. So by Monday, we'll see whatever price action does at this zone. So whatever it does at this zone, then there's probably, some more move to the downside. So let's see. But at this point, when the week started, I had this zone around there. I drew this also, looking forward that the market could actually come there and not step into this zone, because look at this higher time frame now. This was where the candle actually started from, but this is the week. But I actually drew those other zones from a lower time frame. So just to refine my entries to get better entries in the market. But looking at this now, it didn't even get to the line at all. It will not even talk about the the other block down there. So yeah, this market was actually a very good one, but it didn't get to the point where I was confident enough to enter into the trade. You really want to avoid making losses by all means. You can't enter every trade. So yeah, this is actually one I actually left out. So for now, this is one I'm expecting market to react to. If markets gets there and show us some signs it's actually going down, then yeah, I'm going into this market. Already this is not too bad for your stop loss, but it's actually going to be bad if you don't see your proper entry techniques and the likes. So let's watch out. Let's see how it plays out. And yeah, we would just, you can actually play to the rhythm of the markets. You don't want to predict the markets. The best thing is you just react to it. So let's just see what it does and we're going to react to it. So this is zone here I'm actually expecting the markets to get to. Hopefully, it gets all the way down here, but this is definitely something in the long term. But yeah, for the starter, like just for the, for the early beginning, this will actually be where I'll be expecting the market to get to initially. So you can get a more refined entry here at stop losses. We have really small and probably getting like a 1 to 6 risk to reward ratio. So that's a good one actually. Let's go to Euro JPY. So for Euro JPY, okay, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. For Euro JPY, yeah, I like this actually. So for the previous week, I was actually expecting some down movements around there. So this was the market open. I saw this impulsive candle here. So I expecting the market to get here and push to the downside. Just the way I drew it here. This was actually from last week. I intentionally actually left all these things there. So we're looking at this now. We broke through it and we came back here to retest this zone and we pushed to the upside. This is something like what I actually explained at when I was talking about the major USD pairs, like the markets sometimes breaks some zones that you actually expected to break. Now this is I actually explained the buy zone around this, but let me explain the sell zone here, because it's actually a sell trade. So looking at this now, we probably had something like this, breaking through the high. Now we created a zone around there, but luckily we broke through this low, came back here to retest the block here. Now we are going to be expecting the market to actually, like, respect this zone and break through this. But if we probably have something like this, if we expected this, broke through, we eventually broke towards the upside. Now at this point, so at this point now, let me draw these zones around there so we can actually see what I'm talking about. So we have this. We also have this. And so for this zone, this is probably where it found what broke the structure. So now, and at this point here, we had a break of structure. Now, yeah, we had a break of structure. So here, immediately we had this. Now at this point here, you'll probably think this is a market shift. Like this is a market shift, more like a change in market direction, and the market is about to come to the downside. But instead of coming to the downside and breaking this low, keep on creating new lows and lower highs, lower lows, it actually came back up here, comes back here, and find an order block around there. So it comes back into this order block and it continues to move to the upside. So that was something like what actually happened here. So I was actually expecting the market to, after all these moves, we had this. Now we broke through this high, came back here to break this low, create a break of structure. We retested here. We broke through this again. Now I was expecting it to come here and continue to the downside. What did it do? Instead of that, it actually broke through it, came back to retest another block around there, and it's kept pushing to the upside. So these are some market scenarios that we can actually pay attention to. And it happens, probably not all the time. You can actually screenshot this and study it or something, but this is actually some kind of scenarios that the market plays out. And we just have to pay attention to those things so we don't actually lose some money in the markets. So yeah, so that's just for that. Let's go to AUD card. Now for AUD card, let's see, what do we have here? On the 4-hour time frame, let's see where the week actually started. So we can see this is where the week started. So for where the week started, yeah, immediately we had this push into this zone. I was looking like, no way, this is what we were waiting for. We're expecting the market to actually break through the highs and the likes, but look at what it's been doing. It's just been playing around, just the same way the USD pairs actually played around throughout the week. We had this zone here, this consolidation zone here. So I was expecting the market to, break this high first. I actually made mention of that. I wouldn't really respect the zones around here for a major move to the upside. I would want the market to break through towards this high, come back in to retest a zone around there, then push to the upside. But look how it's been doing. It didn't actually do that. Instead, it broke through this low, and there's actually a very high possibility that we'll actually break through this low. If we look closely at this now, there's probably a zone here on the higher time frame that it actually respected here. This was on Thursday also. There's a zone here that is probably respected, and it's just probably going to keep on going on to the downside and probably break through this low. If it breaks through this low, like we all know, something like what I just finished explaining now, we had this high, this low, we created this high. So instead of respecting the zone around there, it broke through it. Now we might come back here to retest the block around there and push more to the downside. So these are just repeating market scenarios. They are repeating market scenarios that we can actually pay attention to. and see how we can benefit from these moves. So for GBP/JPY, let's see GBP/JPY. Yeah, let's mark this place here. So for GBP/JPY, then also you can actually get this indicator. Is a free indicator here. Just search for the month/week break close, so you can get it to know when. So this faded line is my weekly opens, but these deep ones are the monthly opens. I actually set the colors myself, so you can do well to set whatever colors that suits you, and so you can actually be able to identify those spots in the market easily. So yeah, this was the market open, and let me see. So immediately we came into this zone and tapped into this zone. We came to the downside here. We came down, retest. Now we broke through it impulsively. I was expecting the market to come here and push to the downside. But something like what we explained in the previous pairs now, you can see instead of respecting this, it broke through it, came here to retest, and it kept on pushing to the upside. So these are market scenarios that plays out repeatedly, something that we just there, like for real, just there. So we can as well be able to notice all these things. So yeah, for now, I don't really have a clear bias on this pair for now. I was looking at the fact that we haven't really tested this price for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. This was since 2015. Man, that was really long. So let's see. We broke here, negative test, but the major break was here. So yeah, there's probably a zone around there that it probably needs to retest. But I wouldn't want to go that far. Just to respect. But one thing I actually do in situations like this is actually mark the high. So when I mark the high, I know what I'm actually expecting from the market. So this is the high of the block I actually expected to respect. And this is the overall high. The moment it does this, then it's probably creating a new all-time high. That hasn't done for a very, very long time. So yeah, we have actually broken this a little from the way I see it. And looking at this, there's possibility we keep on going to the upside. We keep on going to the upside. But is it going to retest this zone around here? Now, there were so many retests here before the final break. So yeah, there's possibility we come back here to retest, but it's not something I'll just want to, just do blindly. Let's just wait. If the market reacts to this zone, the market could possibly react to something on this zone and keep on going to the upside. So yeah, it's a place you can actually put a watch on. The place you can actually put the watch on. Let's go to AUD/JPY. Now for AUD/JPY, we had some moves here. Now this was the beginning of the previous week. So it's the beginning of the previous week. Now, this was an ongoing trade before this week. So initially I was expecting the market to break through this low, come back to retest something, and then we'll continue to the downside. But looking at this now, there wasn't any significant break. It was just weeks. There wasn't really any body closure. So yeah, it's something you need to be careful about. And when it came here, it broke through it, came back here to retest this last one it's created, and it's pushed to the upside. So yes, we look at the GBP/JPY, so it did almost the same thing. They both have JPYs as the other pairs. So yeah, we could probably expect some up movements here also. We could probably expect some, some movement to the upside here also. And probably to this zone top here, but I can't actually say for now. But yeah, this is a zone we can actually watch. Zone we can actually watch. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see something. Okay, about the look at this week. Look at this indecision candle. Now this one also pushed the upside. This one is actually trying to come down a little, but this down movement might not be on for too long. So yeah, let the market opens. Let's see what happens, and we'll now to continue. CHF/JPY, probably expecting something similar. Probably expecting something similar also. So yeah, that is a possible move. We came back up here, broke through the low. At least with this candle, came back here to retest this zone around there. You find entry on a lower time frame. And now pushing to the upside. So initially I was expecting the market to come back here to retest, but looking at this, it just came here to tap into this fair value gap and it just continue moving to the upside. You know, the way he does his thing. So yeah. So this is probably the area, probably a point of interest, a place where we can actually watch for what the market does there. If it actually responds there positively by creating some new highs on lower time frame, then yes, is a place you can actually look for potential buys. So CAD CHF, for CAD CHF, let's see. We have this. Let's close this. So now for CAD CHF, this is a zone I drew that the market should react to. And looking at this, it reacted to it, but it didn't go for too far. It decided to respect this block around there and it came down. And looking at this now, it's crossed the previous zone, the previous week zone with a week, went to the upside, but yeah, created an engulfing candle. So the real question now is that, is this actually going to hold? Is this zone still going to be respected? Because it's an engulfing candle, so you probably expect this week to be a retest and the market's open should push to the upside. But this is something that's actually going to be respected. We don't know yet. But what I'll be expecting here majorly is actually a break on this forward time frame. A break here. If we can have a break here, then I'll look forward to take a buy on the retest of another block from this zone. So for that, for CAD CHF. So for GBP/NZD, now looking at this also, something like, I think what happened on GBP/UD, I took a buy. Yes, I did the same thing also on GBP/NZD. I think I realized that they actually kind of have some similar, price action there. So I was able to also take advantage of this trade here. We broke here, came back to the retest, pushing the upside, came back here. Then on a smaller time frame, we had a break of structure, and I was able to take a buy on the retest of this zone, also to the next high. But I just had to take my profit there. If I left it, and this is a really, really cool ride. So I just have to leave the market there, and let's see. So yeah, this is another zone. There's another zone around there. So we can also watch out for price action around here. And if possible, we don't respect this zone, it could actually be a break. But yes, but for now, for this pair, this is where I'm actually expecting to have a closer study on price action to see where I can actually take my next potential trade, whether I buy or you sell. So for CAD JPY, let's see the forward time frame. So for CAD JPY, yeah, I drew this zone also from the previous week. So this is a week. Now this is a zone that hasn't been tested for a long time. So I'm still looking for the market to, probably get there. But this is a zone I drew. Initially, I was expecting the market to come here, but the market didn't. Let me draw a line here so we can see. So this is where the market actually got to. The market actually got here. Didn't go beyond there. So yeah, I couldn't take a buy trade here. So it came back up here. So I was actually expecting another sell here. So I was like, okay, since it didn't come here, it's probably supposed to be a retest here, come back, then before moving up. But looking at this now, we broke through it. It retested a little and has created this engulfing candle here. More like a sign that we're actually continuing to the upside. So yeah, this will probably get to this zone, and this will be where I'll be looking forward to taking my next opportunity on this pair. So let's go to Euro NZD. For Euro NZD also, we broke through a zone. We didn't test any of my zones here. We didn't test any of my zones here. But let's see this. Now, this was the beginning of the week. I was expecting the market to come here. I actually drew this just in case, but the market didn't even get there. It just went up, broke through this zone, came back here to retest the other block here, and that was it. It's kept on moving to the upside. So yeah, that's it for this pair right now. It broke a little again, came back to retest, and it continued up. So there will probably be that same momentum continuing. We have, so right now that was on smaller time frames, so there'll probably still be a major test of this zone later on in future. No, maybe a few days to come or something. There'll probably still be a later test, and yeah, we'll not know if the zone is actually going to hold. So based on the price action there, we can know if it's actually going to break to the downside or it's just going to test there and try to break the previous high it's created. So that's for Euro NZD. Let's take GBP card. So for GBP card, I think we're still having something similar to that. So for GBP card, now this was where it was. I was still waiting to see if this zone was going to hold as the last week. But looking at this, the zone actually didn't hold. So when it went up, came back here, I drew a zone here, expecting to take a buy. Yeah, it caught me out. It caught me out first before moving. Immediately I saw this test, this first touch here, and this impulsive moment, I was like, no, probably that's where I was supposed to take the trade. But looking at this, it broke through my low. It broke through the previous low and moved up again. Now it's coming back to retest. So it's been a little bit choppy for a while now. But let's see how it does. Depending on the market movement, the market reactions. If probably on a lower time frame, there'll probably still be another entry. Or possibly, we could actually have some more moves that would come here, come to retest this zone here before having that massive push to the upside. Yeah, this is another possible scenario that I would also watch out for. This is another possible scenario that I'll watch out for. So yeah, let's go to USDCHF. So for USDCHF, we have this is the opening of the week. So for USDCHF, we had this. I've marked these zones previously. It wasn't respected. So I was looking forward to the market coming up here. But although this is a zone that I wanted it to respect, but based on the way it was moving here, I couldn't see any clear entry. And looking at this now, it actually broke through the low. We came back up here to retest this zone, which I also marked. It respected it, came back here to break through. So right now, this is another zone I'm actually looking forward to the market. And let's just see how it plays out from there. If possible, we break through this high, break through this high. But my major thrust of a trade here will be after it breaks through this particular high. After it breaks through this high, then on the retest is when I'll actually take my buy trade. But I need to actually see a clear break. That's when I can actually say, okay, yes, this is a valid point to actually take a trade. So if it breaks through here, comes back, that's when I'll be confident enough to actually take a buy trade here. But this low has definitely been broken. So we need to be open to the market possibilities. This is not the zone I want to trade with. I'm just marking it to see how the market is going to react to those places. So that's just what I do majorly. But for my major zones, yes. Like a place like this, the extremes, those are my major zones. But yeah, now it's not something I really want to do with, considering the fact that this week that came into this place tells me that there's a lot of things happening on the lower time frame that I actually need to watch out for. So it's not something you just want to jump into. That's why there's a lot of refinement of entries. When you refine your entries so much, you probably miss some entries too. So yeah, I'm waiting for a clear break. It's that the clear break that I'm actually going to take a trade. So NZDCHF. So for NZDCHF, let's see, we have this. So for NZDCHF, this is a zone I've marked previously. And the fact that it was consolidating around there, I wasn't really in the mood to trade something like this. So I actually left this out. I didn't trade it. But when the market opened, that I saw this impulsive move that it broke here, I got interested and I drew this other block. As you can see, it actually didn't tap into the other block. It just came here very, very close. And it's, it started pushing to the downside. But along this side, when we come down to 5 minutes time frame, something else happened too. So this was just a quick scalp in the market. It's just a quick scalp in the market. Looking at the fact that we broke through all this low, we are retesting in another block around here. This was a sweep. This was a break of structure. This was a retest. So it was actually a good place to enter, entering from around here. But I didn't see it on time. So yeah. So that's just for this. And the market came into this zone and actually pushed massively to the downside. So the sell trade here was actually the major trade. And you can see it actually respected it so well. But let's look at what we can actually have now. Right now, I can't really see anything tangible considering the fact that the time that I actually got in here is far back 2020. There isn't really any recent price action, and it was even a week. So, like, there isn't really any clear price action here. So this is not something I really want to deal with. If possible, we have some movements like this later on, but since it has been going down consistently, I'll actually leave it for a while now, depending when I see some momentums that I can actually, decide to get into. But for now, that's out of the way. Let's go to GBP-CHF. Let's see what we have here. So for GBP-CHF too, yeah, I think for CHFPS mostly, it wasn't really something I paid too much attention to. So this was beginning of the week. This was already mitigated. So at this point, there were lots here. So at this point here, I was expecting this break. I didn't think there was a break of structure here. I have taken a sell trade on the retest. But as you can see, we didn't actually break. No candle actually got there. So we kept on breaking till we broke this high. After we broke this high, that was when the market decided that it was probably going to go towards the downside. So eventually here we broke through it and I had to draw this other block from a 4-hour time frame. But the reason why I couldn't take it was because it actually pushed into it, impulsively. So it wasn't something I really want to get into. And in fact, it's even on a Friday night, towards the closing of the market. So nah, this was not there. So right now, there's possibility I'm expecting more move to the downside, probably to break through this low. But yeah, as I said, I need a proper break to actually decide what I'm going to do in the market. Right now, I think there's going to be a proper break around here. Possibly Mondays, Tuesdays, depending on how fast the market moves. But yeah, I'm expecting a break towards the downside here. Euro CHF. So for Euro CHF also, let's see, this is a 4-hour time frame. So for the 4-hour time frame now, this was the market open in the week. So I was expecting the market to come into this zone. As you can see, it actually did what I expected it to do. But due to my refined entry, I haven't gotten an entry into this market yet. So after we tapped into the zone, now this was the first tap actually. Not really tap, but this was the first tap. So this triple top here that we've considered as the sweep of the liquidity. And this will be considered as the break of structure. But looking at this was just a week. And if you know from what I've been saying previously, I actually don't trust it if it's not a candle break. So the fact it wasn't a candle break, I actually had to clear this out the charts. It wasn't something I trust. And I actually marked this new zone, that actually this new high that was created. I'd have taken a loss if I've taken that trade. So this push up, I mark this as my liquidity sweep. This is a break of structures. Right now, I'm still waiting for the retest. So for this new week now, I'll be expecting a retest around here. So whatever price action does, then I will know if I'm actually going to take this trade. So yeah, but I'm expecting some movement to the downside, probably breaking through these points. But the major break is going to be the new low is going to create, and possibly this. But yeah, this is where I'm expecting to take a sell trade for this week from this pair. So let's go to Euro UD. So for Euro UD, let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's see. For Euro AUD, this was the beginning of the week. Now for this, I was looking forward to a break of this low to tap into the zone here and possibly break through a retest, then come down to this major zone I've marked here. This was the major zone I was expecting to take a buy. But looking at this now, it just kept consolidating around. So yeah, this was a break. It came back as a retest, touched it with a week, we tested it. This was another break. And yeah, this was actually really clear for an entry then. Let me see. So now this is a week, but this is where it actually had a body break. So, and looking at this price action here, there's a lot of weakish, which shows there was a lot of mitigation. There wasn't really any zones that was left untouched. There wasn't really any zone. So it came back here, cut the body of the previous high. Though it didn't break through the week, but I really consider this as a high because this was just a sharp movement and it probably came down fast. So it's not something I really want to get involved with, probably take a trade in. But after this break, this was a major break impulsively. There's possibility the market tests this area as a new zone and probably push to the upside. But depending on what the market does, if it breaks towards the downside, then is actually a good sign. Then at the retest is where I'm actually going to take a sell trade. But if not, I'm actually just going to look at this pair and just keep on watching how it's actually going to play out on its own. But let's check Euro card. So for Euro card, let's check where we started the week. Let's check where we started the week. I think it was around here, considering this line I drew here. So yeah, as you can see, this was where we started the week. So now for Euro card, I was expecting the market to get here from here. I was expecting the market to get here before pushing to the upside. But as you can see, the market actually didn't get there, but instead, it began working this way. Or it gets to the upper zone there, which means this was not the valid zone I was actually supposed to tap. This was probably to fix some people into the market or something. But yeah, this is the main zone that it actually rejected. So look at how impulsive it came down. And it actually broke this low with a candle on Friday. But let's just see what the market does after it opens. But looking at this now, probably expecting something like this. Maybe a little bit more move to the downside, but we test around there and finally get to mitigate this zone here. But whatever it does around there will tell us where the market is going next. But I kind of feel most likely to the upside into this other zone here, where we can actually have all these zones mitigated. And okay, looking at this now, there's another block around there at the top. It is from a higher time frame. And let's see, possibly we even come up to this point. Yeah, but that's what I see on this pair. Let's check NZDJPY, which is the last pair pair we'll be analyzing for tonight. So yeah, let's see. There's a zone around here that was respected. Let's came back here. So let's check the week open. So for this, I was expecting the market to come here normally. It came there and it respected it. But I actually do this one that in case any one of them it actually meets first, we'll see what it does there and be able to take a trade. But it came here and it actually did exactly the way we wanted it to. So let's see. Now we tap into it first, tap into it again. So this is a clear, this is a liquidity. This is a break of structure. And it just consolidated around it, didn't go back to this zone. We broke through it a little, we tested it. And this was the major retest. So at this point, it had taken a sell trade to the downside. And yeah, all the way down here. So that's for NZDJPY. So for now, after this right now, actually I still expect this zone to be respected. Let me check the 1 hour time frame. Let's see. Okay. I think I still expect it. I still expect this zone to be respected. So there's possibility we have, as I've said, everything is all about possibilities actually. There's possibility we have something like this before a major push to whatever direction it's actually going to get. So you can see this break of structure here. And this looks like a clear support and resistance. This zone here. It looks like a clear support and resistance. So there's actually a possibility that the market doesn't even, comes down into this zone because these are very, very sharp movements in the market. There's possibility that this other best scenario for this is that it actually maybe comes down a little, but actually moves most to the upside. Yeah, this would be the best scenarios I'll actually be looking forward to. But yeah, this zone is just marked there for, just in case the market decides to, respect the zone down there. So we should actually be ready for whatever the market is going to do. So yeah, I'll be expecting maybe some movement to the upside from here. And if not, I'll be expecting it from this zone. So that will be all for this week, guys. I hope you guys got one or two things and be able to, cross-check with whatever you have, try to, see whatever, you can actually add or probably be missing out. And if there's anything that I actually didn't touch or I actually didn't see, you can as well share your comment share your thoughts in the comment section. And let's just, let's share ideas together and let's grow. So yeah, thank you all for staying tuned to the end of the video. I hope you guys got one or two things from that. Thank you all so much. I'm glad to have you guys here. And along this video, somewhere around this video, yeah, you're going to see a link to the other video we analyzed the major pairs. You guys can as well watch that video and see my view when it comes to the major USD pairs. So that'll be all for now. Love you guys. Stay tuned. Trade safe. Peace out, guys. See you next time.